He's a bottom? It makes sense. It literally makes sense. He's real fluffy.
Ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba? Who's Bubba? Why is Trump blowing Bubba? Do we have a Donica Lewinsky on our hands?
Look, let me tell you something. Donnie giving Bill Dome in the office is such an insane turn of events. It's so insane because the MAGA fan base, the cult group, is going to say, well, this is so insane. That's why it's so believable. Because why the fuck would Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark sit in an email about, like, talking about if Putin had the images of the president at the time, which was Donald Trump, blowing Bubba, who was Bill Clinton. And if Bubba isn't Bill Clinton, who the fuck is Bubba? But as of right now, we're standing on this hill. MAGA, please explain. Those aren't doctored emails. Your administration is not denying that they're doctored. They're just saying they're releasing them to shame him. So if that's the case, that means there's some admittance that these emails are real. Why would a known deviant be in a conversation with his own blood biological brother about you sucking Peter Wacker? They didn't know that these were going to get it. They didn't know. What's up with Bill always getting hit? Like, what?
He's a bottom? It makes sense. It literally makes sense. He's real fluffy. Was everybody having nightcaps with Bubba? I mean, goddamn. Hillary, I know why you pissed off, girl. I would have stepped out on him too, because not him frenemies and God damn it, I can't even fucking think straight. Hold on. You mean to tell me y'all was frenemies? Y'all was frenemies? No, because, okay, I get it. Bill was definitely a top. Bill was definitely the top in that situation. But wigs are us, baby. You giving sloppy toppy? Oh my God. Jeffrey, you just keep dropping W's from the grave. And why does everybody have Bill's third leg in name? I need to know the time frame of this shit. Was the same time as Monica, or was it after? What else was going on these planes? Wait, Bill wasn't on the plane. Where was this at? And somebody said there were photos. You know, you don't have to send them to me because I don't want none of that stuff. But, you know, if you decide you want to post them somewhere, just let me know where you post them.
Oh, we finna catch us an account strike today, folks, because letting me find out that we don't have the Epstein files because the Fanta-fascist was number 42's favorite fellatio expert. Friends, in a true-to-form reality TV star twist, it turns out our felonious Fuhrer may or may not have spent some time on his knees in front of a former president. This does beg the question. How y'all think Bill felt back when the Bone Spur Bandit ran the first time and he had to watch his wife and his side bitch fight? And are we now stuck in this situation because of one extremely nasty senior citizen love spat? And finally, how do we think the Coppertone Coward's followers are feeling right now? I know a lot of them are probably freaking the fuck out because they care more about their homophobia than they did the fact that him and his friends were doing it to kids. Find out next time on another exciting episode of Holy Shit, We're All Fucked. Seriously, folks, this is so fucking stupid. Funny, but fucking stupid. Anyways, sorry about the change of scenery and the echo of my voice. This hotel I'm staying at didn't have a fence for me to walk in front of, so we had to make do. Now I'm fixing to get ready to spend my weekend storming castles and sword fighting. Y'all have you a wonderful day, or at least the one you voted for deserve. Do me one favor, keep the motherfucking boots out of your motherfucking mouth, and remember that the golden rule will always remain yeehaw fuck the law. I love y'all. I'll see you down the line.
I just want to say, President Trump, if you're bi, it's okay. MAGA doesn't know what to do now. The past 24 hours have shown many, many emails being released about Epstein talking about Trump. Let's dig into some of the highlights. According to NPR, the emails that were dumped yesterday, Trump's name appeared over 1,000 times. It just gets worse and worse for the dictator. The highlight for me of the email dump yesterday was this one right here. This is Mark Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein's brother. He says, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba. There's speculation online that Bubba could possibly be Bill Clinton. Bubba was Bill Clinton's nickname. Regardless if this is Clinton or not, I just want to say, President Trump, if you're bi, it's okay. I have bi friends. I have gay friends. It's okay if you're bi. But you have to admit it to yourself, and it's okay to admit it to the rest of the world. Let your freak flag fly, President Trump. I would be more proud of you and have more respect for you if you came out and said, yeah, I like men too. Then it came out yesterday that the White House is so concerned, they're so freaked out about this Epstein situation that they held a secret meeting in the Situation Room. And Miles Taylor here is a reporter, and he says, but I'll tell you from experience, the only reason you hold Situation Room meetings is when there's something to hide. Emergency meeting held because of the Epstein files. And then the distraction. Whiskey Pete puts out this statement yesterday, essentially saying, we're going to go to war with Venezuela as a distraction to the Epstein situation. Look, this was MAGA's conspiracy theory to begin with, and the rest of us were kind of like, yeah, they should have released the files, and MAGA just kept pounding and pounding and pounding. Then MAGA got the rest of us, like me and others, on board. I'm invested at this point. I'm too invested to be distracted by essentially a fake war in South America. Here's some other revelations. So Trump claimed multiple times that he cut off all ties with Epstein in the early 2000s. However, based on the new emails that were released yesterday, he was still hanging out with Epstein. Trump and Epstein were still hanging out in 2017, 2018, and even in 2019. Let's see, who was president in 2017 and 2018? That's right, dictator Trump was. So he lied about cutting ties with Epstein in the early 2000s, according to these emails. Look, say what you will. He's innocent, he's guilty, whatever. But this is true right here. Innocent people would not need to hold an emergency meeting to find a way to block the release of the Epstein files. Innocent people would not be calling Republican congresspeople to beg them not to vote yes on releasing the Epstein files. Innocent people would not run away from the press like dictator Trump did yesterday when asked questions about the Epstein files. I don't know to what extent Trump is guilty of with the Epstein files, but one thing is sure, he is guilty of something and he is hiding something. But what about Bill Clinton? If Bill Clinton's in those Epstein files and he did something to those young kids, throw his ass in jail. May he rot. That's the difference between people like me and you, MAGA. I don't care if my people get taken down. If you're guilty, throw your ass in jail. Stop protecting a pedophile. Trump's guilty of something. We're going to find out. We're going to find out one way or another. Best friends.
Donald Trump blew who? And Megyn Kelly said what? I go out for one night, don't look at the internet really. I wake up this morning to these two stories. Is insane. So in this email between Jeffrey Epstein, his brother Mark, and Steve Bannon, we have, all good, Bannon with me. Mark Epstein says, ask him if Putin has photos of Trump blowing Bubba. So people think that Bubba is Bill Clinton. What? And going from that into this, what Megyn Kelly said?
Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like he liked 15-year-old girls.
15 is,
And
15 is not barely legal, Megan. That is an underage girl. That is rape in every precinct in America. Hide your fucking children from Megyn Kelly and Donald Trump.